It's the final weekend of the regular season, and something's got to give. 24th ranked Georgia comes to Columbia looking for its first go-go-goes in the outfield, highlighted by Jaden Goodwin and Sarah Gordon.
Yeah, these two Georgia hitters, they have been the fire starters for this lineup. These two, it's really hit or go home for Georgia. They start the fire, they get the rest of the lineup going, and these two have hit doubles, triples, home runs. They powered the offense last season, Nate.
Excellent.
Today, we're going to have to see her use her rise ball to all four quadrants. We're also going to have to see her utilize that changeup. She's got to figure out a way to keep her team within winning distance because this is such a crucial series for this Missouri team.
Georgia's lineup under fourth-year head coach Tony Baldwin, led by Dallas Goodnight, the third of those go-go-goes in the outfield. Center fielder now in her tied with Jaden Goodwin for the team lead.
And this is really the first year that we've seen Dallas Goodnight actually swing away at more pitches, traditionally more of a slapper. That's why you're not going to see her home run numbers be as high, but can run any ground ball out.
Feels like that's the way the game is. Sit on deck. Jaden Goodwin in the hole in this first inning for Georgia. Coming off a midweek win over Georgia Tech. Wave and a miss by Goodnight. And after an 8-pitch battle, McCann gets the strikeout. This year, the SEC has sent the #1 team in the country to Columbia 3 different times. Oklahoma, Texas, and Texas A&M. Missouri has won 2 out of those 9, but a number of the other games have been close. And in many ways, that's the defining element of this SEC campaign for Missouri, Maddie. It's the Tigers are 1 and in with a hit for Goodwin. 2 of those 3 hits have been doubles. Strike 1 taken by Sarah Gordon. Goodwin now has hit in 8 of her last 9 games. RBI opportunity with 2 outs for Sarah Gordon. Backus 13-7 with a 3.6 earned run average. It's her 30th overall appearance of the season. And she'll deal with Julia Crenshaw, Stefania Abrascato, and Madison Walker in the home first inning for Missouri. Crenshaw shows bunt and evidently did pull it back. Ball 1. Puts Backus under pressure right away, too.
Right. And that ball was a typical ground ball over to the first baseman. Esther White over at first base, a freshman. Some of that inexperience coming into play here for Georgia. Doesn't really get the right footwork on that ball. And Abrascato is able to take first.
Fourth hitter she's faced. The only 2 other strikes were put in play. Ebbs, the transfer from Kentucky, hitting at .301. 10 homers. She's knocked home 31. This is a Missouri lineup that has power. 4 of the top 5 hitters have double-digit homers this year. Crenshaw
up a path to make that throw if you're trying to go for a double play from 4-1.
That Backus changeup. Safe to say Daly was not anticipating it on 2-0.
Damage is what's really important when you're a pitcher, especially a starter. You've got 7 more innings to potentially go, so being able to limit some of that damage is crucial.
1-1. Way up, but speared by Marissa Miller, the catcher, to hold Madison Walker at second base. How critical it is to have the mental strength to move forward and limit damage. How hard is that of a skill to acquire, especially for pitchers at this level? Because, of course, they all dominated in high school. They all dominated in travel ball. They have to learn to deal with failure on the fly.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing when you're stepping in and you're playing in a Georgia uniform is when you're in the SEC, you can't take pitches off, right? Every single pitch matters. So that's self.
Davis, one of 3 Bulldogs graduating this month. She'll be getting her master's. Rachel Gibson and Dallas Goodnight also wrapping up their degrees. Get a home run of the year for Lindy Ray Davis. And Georgia ties it right back up in the 2nd inning.
And this is why it's so essential for those Missouri pitchers to get ahead in the count. Going 3-2, being forced to throw a strike to the Georgia senior, Lindy Ray Davis. Not a situation you want to be in. Doesn't even.
The Dogs were swept by Texas A&M, but that was only a 2-game series. Both of them had to be played on the same day. Because of weather issues moving that series around, Missouri's had plenty of that here at home this year as well. Two-one.
Gets her to swing at it. Such a good pitch because this Georgia hitter really can't put it in play, but she has to swing at it because it's such a borderline pitch.
Here's Marissa Miller. She takes a strike. Missouri set attendance records as well, but happy to see their senior back on her feet. Second base, and the inning is over. Georgia strands a runner at second for the 2nd consecutive inning, but Lindy Ray Davis puts the Dogs on the board. So, Maddie, we didn't show people SEC standings in the open, and there's a reason for that. These are 2 of the bottom 3 teams in the league. On the other hand, you don't have to be a spinster to look at Oklahoma and Texas joining the league and playing well, but losing a lot more games than they typically did in the Big 12. Strengthens the case. Shallow right toward the foul line. Gordon makes the call and the catch. Oklahoma's lost 5. A rarity for her, just the 15th strikeout of her season in nearly 140 plate appearances.
And Ellison has been kind of a surprise for Georgia this year. When we were talking with Coach Baldwin earlier, didn't play a ton her first year, but to your point, has only made coach against Backus so far this game. She had a little blunder in the 1st inning, but has dominated ever since.
You know, I think we had real good pitch selection in that 1st inning. We were taking balls and swinging at good pitches, and I think we just have to get back to that. She's throwing a lot of off speed, so we have to maybe recognize that and maybe look to hit that early in the count rather than waiting until we get 2 strikes.
Coach, thanks a lot. Best of luck.
Thanks. MIZ.
Mississippi State in Starkville and at Ole Miss in Oxford. Swing and a miss by Abrascato, and Backus has the strikeout, her 3rd.
And that's what Georgia needs to see from Backus moving forward. If they want to take a series and win this last SEC series, she has to be dominant. And she throws that drop ball right below.
The 2nd error against Georgia, both charged to White in the first 3 innings tonight. The SEC who moved there kind of the same way Chicago is with the Big Ten, and as a result, you can expect really good attendance at the SEC tournament, not just for Georgia's games. You'd think it'll be packed. Talking about the postseason, it feels like this month everybody's a softball fan. And softball, and to some degree ESPN, but especially the players and coaches and all the people who live and breathe this sport have done such a good job of making it the kind of sport in the country. She represents the potential go-ahead run as we near the midpoint of the ball game. And Emily Digby, who singled her first time, is the next hitter for Georgia.
Her stride as this game's gone along, and she's utilized her changeup a lot of this game.
Madison Updegrove, the first Tiger. Here's Kaylee Langer. Bunt back to the circle. Back is. Gets it to the covering Ellison, who did well to get there in time. And Langer is. 3 balls, 1 strike on Wilhelm. Off her hands, similar spot. Ellison wanted it, but Gordon slides in to make the catch. Sarah Gordon gets it on the second. Jewel Williams, Marissa Miller, and Esther White do up.
Number 8, Lua Williams.
Williams struck out, her first and only AB so far, and takes a strike over the outside. Hasn't yet been any action in either team's bullpen, really no reason. Another McCann payoff. Williams. Has had 9 starts this season. Most of her appearances still off the bench. 33rd game in which she's played. She was
better at bats than what she has, but looks like she's starting to go to some of those other tools to try to find a way on and spark some more offense for this Georgia team.
Although to the point Tony Baldwin told us this week, one of the great things about her and about probably having a senior who's played as much softball as she has. Back to the circle on the bunt. McCann, the bare hand, good night, beats it. 2 on for Georgia with 2 out. She does not stray from her game plan from her. One, 2. Otto. Cahalan into left center, playable for Goodnight. And that's the first out.
Really competitive game we have here thus far. Your hard stuff to really get these Missouri hitters out.
Hey, great job, Vanya. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, D. Here we go, D. Edit, girl. Hey, Vanya.
Chris Georgia.
From Coach Anderson, but just did a really great job of leading by example all 4 of her years here.
If there's one thing Larissa Anderson would always say about Alex Honnold, it was that her hand-eye coordination. Robbie Guest, the third base umpire, makes the announcement. Tony Baldwin uses the challenge, no hesitation. As it stands, 1 away. We'll see if Gordon beat it.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Baldwin, might as well take a chance on this replay with no outs.
So Davis retired for the first time tonight. And Emily Digby will bat with 2 outs.
Shortstop number 22, Emily Digby.
To lefties, inside to righties, and just utilizing the changeup, nothing more. Has really had a pretty simple outing as a pitcher. Just living on that one half of the plate.
Win tonight could set up Georgia's opportunity to win an SEC potency offensively. Are you surprised by that specific sacrifice bunt?
I am and I'm not. Carrot has not had a hard hit ball yet today. So, I mean, the safe play here to squeak a run across is the sack bunt, with Kara maybe not having her best at bats against Lily Backus.
Interestingly, too. And Missouri takes the lead with 2 outs in the 6th.
Wow. What is so cool about this at bat is that Maya Dodge is not an everyday starter by any means, but she is the first hitter to come off the bench.
All year. Does Larissa Anderson know ball or what? 4-2 Tigers going to the 7th. Taylor Pennell, Missouri's closer, takes over with an unlikely lead. 4-2 Tigers going to the 7th inning. Georgia wanted Crenshaw's smile that you could see even through her mask. Davila waves and misses. Pennella has the strikeout to start the 7th.
The zone for Taylor Pennell just drops off below Georgia's knee.
Victory over Georgia.
Missouri was really firing on all cylinders tonight, from the pitching to the hitting to the defense. Didn't make any costly errors or mistakes this game. Kind of put all the pieces together, and that's what this Missouri team has been wanting or yearning to do all season long.
It probably doesn't feel too bad, though, after a pinch hit, 2 out, 2-run, go-ahead homer in the 6th inning. And Missouri with a 1-9 record in SEC games decided by 2 or fewer runs this year, come out on top of a tight game for just the 2nd time in the conference this season. For my partner, Maddie Gerlach, our fantastic SEC Network crew.